Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of some of the meals that my large family enjoys eating. I am making breakfast this morning and I had some leftover smoked sausage in my refrigerator. So I sliced that up and cooked it in a pan with some butter. And then to that smoked sausage, I'm going to add some eggs and some cheese, and we'll just have some scrambled eggs with cheese for breakfast this morning. Not everyone in my house eats breakfast. Some of the kids don't like to eat until later in the day. Some of them don't care for scrambled eggs. But for the most part, everyone will eat sausage and eggs when I make it. Some of them like to put it in a tortilla and make it like a breakfast burrito, while others will just eat it on the plate the way that I do. I have big boxes of eggs that I purchase, and I like to cut the flaps off of these. It just makes it so much easier to pull them out of the fridge, grab a couple eggs, and then push them back into the refrigerator. Then I don't have to pull the whole box out every time I want to get an egg out of there. So I cut those flaps off with my bread knife, and then I can just set those in there and they kind of slide out like a drawer. We are heading off to a basketball game today. We've had several basketball games this last week, and after this coming weekend we will hopefully be having a break from basketball for just a little bit until it picks back up again. But I knew that we needed to have a good breakfast in us this morning since we were going to have a busy afternoon with basketball. Since we will be gone all day today, I pulled out a couple bags of soup from the freezer. This is a bag of chili and a bag of beef tomato soup. And I put them in here together, and then I added some extra chili powder and some cumin and some salt. And this is going to just cook in the crock pot and be warm for us whenever we get home this evening. Kids and I will be gone to Bible study and co-op, and then tonight we have basketball that we need to get out the door to. So I thought it would be really helpful if I got some soup going in the crock pot and had these two soups up here in my freezer. So I just grabbed them out last night, let them thaw overnight on the counter, and now they're warming in the crock pot for dinner tonight. Open on, you getting it? Turkey.
Can you open the phone?
Ham and turkey. What do you want, mayonnaise? You guys didn't eat them fast enough. What do you mean mix it up? Are you making two sandwiches here?
Yeah,
or just...
mix it up in the oven.
It's mixed up. You're making two sandwiches, or are you making one sandwich?
Two sandwiches. Mom, can you help me get this thing open?
Mm-hmm. This one is ham. Maybe. Oh. And this one is turkey.
Can you please get two pieces out? Like 4 pieces out of this.
Yeah. You want, here, throw those in the trash. You want mustard on it too?
Wait. Do you have lettuce?
I don't have any lettuce. Do it just a little dab of mustard?
Yeah, on each one. So dab, 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 dab.
There's 4 pieces of turkey or ham. Now you want turkey too? You putting both kinds on your sandwiches?
Yeah. both sides.
All right, there's 4 ham, and there's 4 turkeys. On the days that we go to co-op for our homeschooling, I tend to have the kids make their own lunches. This way, if they are hungry, they will be responsible and make food to take with them. And if they don't do that, then they miss out on lunch for that day. They don't starve. We always have dinner as soon as we get home. And our co-op is kind of at a weird time during the day. It's right over lunch. And so we get home about mid-afternoon, and then the kids are able to get a snack when we get home, especially if they did not pack themselves a lunch for that day. But I got tired of spending so much time and energy packing lunch for everyone and taking food with us and then having no one want to eat it once we got to co-op. So now the kids are responsible for their own lunches, and Clayton always makes himself a meat sandwich whenever we have hot dog buns. He loves the idea of like a hoagie bun or like using French bread to make your sandwich. And so he always makes a little sandwich for himself when we've got hot dog buns. After I finished helping him, I went ahead and got myself some eggs to eat. No one else had come up to eat yet, but I was hungry and decided before it got too cold, I would go ahead and eat. And then once we got back from co-op, our chili was ready to eat. I did stop by the grocery store on the way home. I just went to Aldi real quick and grabbed some tortilla chips so that the kids could have those with their chili. And then we had our chili with cheese, and I like to have mine with sliced green olives. We also had some sour cream and some sweetened coconut flakes, which is something else strange that I enjoy having in my chili. But I think Cadence and I are the only ones that enjoy the green olives in our chili. I like that little bite of saltiness in there. It's really delicious. The next morning for dinner, I thought I was only going to have a few of the kids home with me, so I started working on making dinner with what was left over in the refrigerator. I had part of a leftover pork loin that I wanted to chop up into cubes and cook in a pan with some seasoning. And then I also had some smoked sausage left in there still that I just sliced up and put in with the pork loin. And we ate this with our dinner for the evening. I just used Cajun seasoning on this pork loin and cut it up into cubes and cooked it that way. And then I also got out some breakfast sausage because the next morning, my husband and my boys were going to be going to a men's breakfast at church, and I had signed up to send a breakfast casserole with them. So I got out some of my spicy breakfast sausage and I put that in some water to thaw. I thought that I was going to work on that this evening and have it all made up and put in the refrigerator so that the next morning I could just bake it. But after I finished cooking food and finished eating, I was pretty much exhausted and decided that the breakfast casserole would have to wait until the morning. So I will just show you that in a few minutes. I'll show you putting it together the next morning. It was pretty quick and easy. It doesn't take a lot, but it is very delicious and one of our favorite things to eat, and it always gets rave reviews at the men's breakfast when I send it. To go along with our meat, I was cutting up the rest of these apples. We were pretty much running out of things by this point. I didn't have a lot in my refrigerator, and since I had less kids to feed, I didn't want to get a ton of stuff out. So I was just really trying to scrounge up whatever I could find. Our friend from church brings us these apples, and she brings us some caramel dip to have with them. So I sliced up the 4 apples, and we had some leftover grapes still that I dumped on the plate, and then I got out the caramel dip and put that into a bowl. For some reason this had just cracked all over the place, but I scooped it out, put it into a bowl, and that way the kids could enjoy it with the sliced apples for their dinner. Along with this meat and apples, I also took the rest of the homemade bread that I had made, and I sliced it up into thin slices and put some butter on it and some garlic salt, and we just broiled that in the oven. And the kids really enjoyed that. They like whenever I make toast like that with the garlic salt on it. And with the homemade bread, it was pretty delicious. Some of this was sourdough bread, and some of it was just a loaf that I had made the Sunday before in my bread maker, and it was getting pretty dry, but when you add butter to it and you put it in the broiler, it doesn't really matter if it's dry. It softens up from the butter, and then it crunches up from being in the oven anyway, and that was how the kids liked it. So I was able to use up the rest of the bread that was on the countertop with this meal. It really worked out great. I was able to use up a lot of the stuff that I had left over, like these apples and the grapes and the bread, and even the meat wasn't quite enough for a whole meal for our entire family, but I combined those two together, and since we were lacking a few kids, we had less people to feed, and I was able to stretch that meal out to feed us all for the evening.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
After dinner, I was in the mood for something sweet, and usually when that is the case, I need to eat some more fat. And this is something I like to whip up really quick just to fill my tummy up and to get rid of that sweet craving that I'm having. I put some heavy whipping cream into a cup, and then I add about a teaspoon of instant coffee powder. And then I like to add some Truvia in there also to sweeten it up just a bit, and then I use my little milk whisker. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I think it was like $4, and it works so incredibly well that it turns my heavy whipping cream into whipped cream in about 30 seconds. It is so, so fast. So I really like using it just to make a sweet treat like this for myself whenever I am craving something, and then I will be able to just eat this. It's kind of like eating whipped cream, only this time it was coffee flavored whipped cream since I had added in the instant coffee, but it's really good. It's a great way to curb a craving whenever you have one and to get in some extra fat.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
On this same day after I got done making this breakfast casserole, I got myself ready for the day, and then I began working on making some lunch to take with us for the afternoon. We had basketball again on this day, and there were several games. I think this day we had 3 games in the afternoon. So we were gone from pretty much the time that my husband and boys got home from the men's breakfast at around 10:30 all the way until later that evening, maybe around 6:30. So we were gone pretty much all day long. And when we go on a long day like this, I never know how much my kids are going to eat. Sometimes they eat a ton and they're just starving all day. Other times they barely eat what I take, and today was the latter. I made all of this food. I got these sandwiches ready. I did a whole container of peanut butter and jellies, and I got all these goldfish separated. They did eat the goldfish actually, but peanut butter and jellies I got out and made, and they just ended up really not being that hungry. I don't know if everyone had eaten a good big breakfast. I know the boys ate quite a bit at the men's breakfast, but at home we didn't have a lot of breakfast, so I'm not sure what was going on with my kids that day, but I did end up bringing a lot of this food home that I had packed in my backpack cooler to take with us. I had meat sticks and cheese sticks and these goldfish crackers and the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I had some meat and cheese sandwiches and just some lunch meat. But I had quite a variety of things, and I ended up bringing most of it home from the basketball games that day, which was fine. The kids did eat up most of the peanut butter and jellies and all of the meat sticks that I took. I couldn't believe they just scarfed those down. And I went to get some out the next day to pack to take with us and realized that they were completely gone because the kids had eaten all of them that night when we got home from the basketball game. So maybe they're just really busy at basketball games. They spend a lot of time playing and running around and enjoying their friends while we are there. So maybe they're just too busy to sit down and eat. But when we got home that evening, they did eat some of these sandwiches and the meat sticks and the cheese sticks. But I hope you enjoyed seeing some of our meals for this week. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all on my next video. Have a blessed rest of your day. Bye-bye.